We met in an Irish pub in Roswell, Georgia, just north of Atlanta. He was funny. I didn't know he was in the military when we started talking. I had no idea. I recognized a literary character on his hat that is actually a mascot for the EOD community, and that's Guy Fawkes. And he was really impressed that I knew who it was. We were not the marrying type, so we married each other. Our whole relationship had been a choose your own adventure.
We arrived at Fort Drum in September of 2010, and we knew that he would be deploying soon.
You try not to cry the whole day. Like, you don't want it to be about you and your emotions. This is his last day stateside. So it was just me hugging him with my whole body. I wanted him to know that that's how much I was gonna miss him. When it started to get on with it, and I realized it was gonna be 6 months before he took his R&R leave in the middle of his deployment, I just had a meltdown. You know, I realized that he wasn't coming back in a week, and I would work 2 or 3 shifts a day just to not be home alone. I opened, I closed, served pizza, coffee, cleaned the place, talked with the soldiers. I would have rather been in the USO than anywhere. You're more scared they're not coming home at all than you are about them coming home in pieces. One of the other EOD companies sent 2 people to tell me. They just said, Aaron's been hurt, it's pretty bad, his legs are pretty messed up, and then they stopped talking. The USO was there, and they took care of me.
They gave me a bag they give to all wounded troops. You find blankets, jackets, hats, gloves, things like that, and in it were some luggage tags with our wedding pictures on them.
His parents had just married off their middle child a year and a half before. I didn't want them to think that I couldn't keep it together. So we just walked in, and you try not to look at what's missing. I mean, he was bandaged every single extremity. Face, torso, arms, nubs. You just take it. You just take it. You ask questions if you have them, but you can't lose it in that moment. There are other times that you can lose it, but that's not it. I remember the first time I got to hug him in the wheelchair, like stand directly in front of him, and that was huge for me and his parents. And then I remember the day he got to walk. You just don't know what you're missing when you can stand in front of your spouse and hug them, when you can stand beside them and look into their eyes.
I think the USO is one of the most wholly good and wholesome organizations I've ever come in contact with. Every step of my journey as I traveled from Fort Drum to Washington, D.C., from D.C. to Frankfurt, from Frankfurt to Landstuhl, all back again to Walter Reed, they were there. My USO experience is probably one of the few that is full circle in that I've given aid and received it. I wanted to volunteer at the USO because it made me comfortable. I felt welcome, invited, wanted, needed. So I knew it was going to be great. Like, it never occurred to me that this was going to be difficult or hard to do. What I didn't understand was how huge it was, how far-reaching that aid can go. There are no small cracks in this organization. Everyone I've met has been wonderful, and I feel so fortunate to say that I'm a part of this.